Hey, welcome to part 63. We will look at some more questions now. If you have not yet subscribed, do so. It will help you with AWS Azure Google Cloud certifications. Okay, so this is a question. You are building a solution that will report auto scaling events. So you have auto scaling groups. So what it does is, suppose your load is very low. So 5 instances, suppose it is good enough. But then the load increases, you need more instances, so auto scaling group will create more instances. Suppose it adds 5 more, so total instance becomes 10 now. Okay, that is the purpose of auto scaling group. So what the question is saying is, whenever these scale up and scale down happens, I need to know about it. Okay, you need to report it. That means you will have to maintain that kind of logs somewhere. So CloudWatch metrics will help you with this. So you can set some metrics, for example, CPU. So when the scale up happens, when the CPU crosses the threshold, CPU metrics, there is a metrics CPU, you can track that. That's why we are saying we will use CloudWatch metrics for this purpose. We will track these metrics. Whenever the metrics exceed threshold, scale up happens, and it will put that in the report box. Since the threshold of 80% crossed, more EC2 instances were added, and that is the report that you need. Okay, so option A should fit the bill. What it says is, we will use metrics streams. Okay, we will make use of this, and we will do a custom setup with firehose. Can you do that? Yes, you can do that. I'm showing you the documents also. This is from AWS directly. You can do that. You can pause this and read it. Okay, and you can make the stream to go to S3, and that is what the solution says. You make the stream, store the data in S3. See, EMR cluster is for big data. If there is no requirement for big data, then lots and lots of data, there you need Spark engines and so on. If you don't have this requirement, why would you make use of EMR? There is no purpose. Here we want to understand when the scale up and scale down happens and why it happens. See, D is saying, guys, we'll do a bootstrap. Bootstrap, what happens is, when you, suppose when the instance starts, you need some software to be installed automatically. Then we use bootstrap. So this guy says that let's install Kinesis agent. So this agent is a Java software application. You can collect and send data to data streams. Okay, so it is telling us, let's use this agent to collect the auto scaling status and send to data firehose and then to S3. Okay, so this would impact the speed of EC2 instance. You are supposed to choose a solution not to impact the speed. This is a long shot, like so many steps. um, you have to install a Kinesis agent. See, you have CloudWatch metrics. The whole purpose of this certification is whether you understand which service to use for what purpose. That is the purpose. So if you use D, that means AWS already told you, boss, I'm giving you CloudWatch, and you are using a custom solution to show how intelligent you are. So AWS do not need intelligent people. They need people who understand their products and which scenario you want to apply which service. Okay, so event bridge. What is this event bridge? If you want to build event driven applications, then you use event bridge. Okay, event driven means after certain activity, You do certain events. If certain events occur, you schedule a task. See, we can use it, but again, it is a custom solution. The other thing is this option C. Why it is wrong is they are saying that you configure the lambda function to send auto scaling status, but from where will it get the auto scaling status? That piece is also not clear here. So option A is our answer. We will use CloudWatch metrics. The other thing is, can easy to um, publish this metrics? Yes, easy. You see this document. It has EC2. It can publish CloudWatch metrics. So you have a company and you have hundreds of CSV files, like a lot of CSV files. Data is there in the CSV files, and the files are coming every hour in an S3 bucket. These files get into a S3 bucket, and the files are approximately 1 GB in size each file. So this is 1 GB, this is 1 GB, and so on. So the file comes. Understand the story. The file comes. You now have to convert the file into Parquet, okay, and place the file back again in S3. So you get a CSV file. So you get a CSV file and you convert that to a Parquet file. Okay, Parquet file, and then what you do? You put it back in the S3 bucket. That is what you have to do, and you have to do it with the least operational. Least operational means, see, to go from point A to point B, you can go from point A to point C, point C to point D, point D to point E, and then from point E to point B. But there is also a direct route, point A to point B, which is least operational overhead. That is what you have to do. See, my first focus was to convert the CSV file to Parquet. That is my focus. So what should I use? Should I use Lambda? Should I use Spark? Should I use Glue? Okay. So Lambda, why cannot I use? See, Lambda, first of all, it's a compute service, serverless compute service. The problem with Lambda, it can last for 15 minutes. So if the conversion from CSV to Parquet does not happen in 15 minutes, it will kill. So that is why Lambda is not a good solution. So we will mark this wrong, and then we are telling Apache Spark. See, we need least operational overhead. Spark is not least operational overhead. It is lot of overhead to put a Spark cluster to do this job. Will it work? Yeah, it will work, but it is not least operational overhead. Very expensive also. We should use Glue. It is meant for data integration and these kind of conversions. You can discover, prepare. So when we are doing CSV to Parquet, we are actually preparing. Okay, so this should work. So we will use Glue to convert CSV to Parquet. We will place this file in S3 again. That is exactly what we need. And then we create AWS function, Lambda function, for each S3 put to invoke the ETL job. So see, that means last line, what it means is whenever this S3 file, CSV file is written to S3, there will be a Lambda function which will invoke this job. You say, boss, okay, a file has come, boss. Now let us start the conversion. Then the conversion will start. CSV to Parquet conversion will start. So you need to automate that. How will you know the file came? Because the file comes every hour. That does not mean it will come exactly at 12, then 1, then 2. No, it can be at 12:15, it can be 1:30, it can be 2:45. Okay, so we need this kind of mechanism to know when the CSV file came. The moment CSV file comes, immediately people get active, call this Glue job. Glue will say, okay guys, come here, I'll convert you into Parquet. So this is correct, but you may say, hey, I have one more option with Glue. See, that option will only crawl. Yes, it is saying let's crawl S3 bucket, find CSV files. To find CSV file, crawling is not the best option. Okay, Then they are making use of Athena to query the glue table. Then the conversion would happen. That's a very difficult kind of solution. It is not least operational overhead. Okay, and this kind of solution, I would frankly say, it is very ridiculous solution. Our answer is option D. We will use glue to convert CSV to Parquet and put the converted file back in S3. And how will you know that CSV file has arrived? We will write a lambda will schedule a event, put event. Whenever the put event in S3 happens, we will call this lambda function. Lambda will tell glue boss, I got a CSV file. Now it is up to you to convert it. Okay, just like in olden days, rice bag, with one rice bag people used to convert people, no? So here this next question is about backup. What they are saying is they need backup solution. They need to retain the backup for 2 years. Okay, so basically again this AWS is checking whether you understand for backup, is there a service or not, whether you understand. Yes, so we have a service for backup. You can centrally manage the backups, the recovery also. So this would be our answer. We take the backup and we set the expiration to 2 years, because backup you have to retain for 2 years. And since we want it to be consistent and restorable, that's why this AWS backup is a good solution for us. Okay, these are the benefits. See, C will not work. C is not taking data backup, it is taking transaction log backup. We want data backup. And then if you talk about DMS, the purpose of DMS is when you want to migrate one database, say you have Oracle in cloud, you want to migrate that to RDS in AWS, then we use DMS. For database migration, we use DMS, because of DMS has different capabilities to migrate the data. It will discover, assess, convert the schema, and then migrate it. Here we want backup. We don't want migration of data. And B is saying that let's make use of snapshots. So, and make use of data lifecycle manager to schedule snapshot deletion. So lifecycle manager works for snapshots, but here, see, if we have AWS backup, then why will we take snapshots? If for EBS volumes we take snapshots, but for database there is no need to take snapshot as a backup solution. So option A is our answer. We will make use of AWS backup. So you can create a backup plan, and for compute, storage, database, you can protect it also. Okay, and then you can monitor, audit, and so on. So this is our final answer. So if you have not yet subscribed, do so. It will help you with AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud certifications. This channel is totally dedicated to help you with cloud certifications. There are so many playlists for different types of certifications: basic, intermediate, advanced. Go through that. It will help you focus on the concepts. And there are also options to gain access to paid content. You can become Cloud Kernel or Cloud Ninja member and gain access to those important paid content